So I started making film reviews. This was late 2017, and my first review was about Secret Superstar, Amir Khan's film, Secret
Yes.
Superstar, that came out near Diwali. So that was the starting point of reviews, and gradually then I kept on making videos, but those were not clicking. So in 2000, it took me 1 year to get 1,000 subscribers. Earliest memory that I have of movies is like we were very much exposed to Bollywood cinema at that point of time. So we were watching these hardcore commercial movies that used to come out in 90s, all the action kind of stuff, action movies mostly. Akshay Kumar, Sunil Shetty, Sunny Deol were doing action, Govinda was doing
Yes.
comedy, Shah Rukh was doing romance, Salman Khan was doing one kind of film. And I never used to understand the films that Amir Khan used to do. I never understood Dil Chahta Hai at that point of time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Lagan, but I didn't understood Dil Chahta Hai. I never saw Mangal Pandey at that point. I saw Mangal Pandey much later. I watch every kind of film. I'm a film buff, irrespective of the genre. I watch every. The film right now we are making Eklavya. It's a mass
Yes.
action movie.
Yeah.
Action. We have done action in an independent space without any action director, and so that's a very very like Bollywoodish kind of film, which has all the elements of a commercial cinema. So I want to make that kind of film, and I think in 2023 Bangla cinema is going to suffer a lot because a lot of big Hindi films are coming up. There is a Ranbir Kapoor film coming up. Then there are actually two Ranbir Kapoor films coming up. Then there is some pan-India films like Salar. Uh, then there is Jawan. There is Donkey. All these kind of big films are coming up this year. So it would be very challenging for Bangla cinema. Let's see. You mark my word. Dev's Bomkes is gonna be one of the biggest hit.
Yeah.
It is going to be a biggest hit of 2020. That I can guarantee you, because people will go and watch it in theater in order to compare how Dave has performed. Great quote of Robert Rodriguez. He says that stop aspiring, start doing. Go out and do it. Make it.
Okay.
Don't sit for the inspiration to come.
Just do
Don't
it.
wait for the inspiration to come. Then just go and start. Now you have started a YouTube channel. That's good. Just start doing. If things have to happen, they will fall into place.
So when we talk about Indian cinema and when we talk about Indian movie reviews, and when it comes to Bengali cinema, you are the shining name in that, because I've been following you for a long time, and I believe that the review that you put forward is genuine and to the point, and so much to learn from your insights that you put forward. So thank you, Aritra, for joining today in this session with me.
Thank you so much, Manush, for having me, and it's a delight to talk.
So first of all, like, how did you plan your journey of becoming a reviewer? Like, how do you plan that you will start a channel? And
No, so it's not a planned thing. What I believe in life, that if you have, we as a human being make some plans, and life has its own plans, and we can never overshadow the plan that the life has for us. So so I started off as a short filmmaker. So when I was in the college, I used to watch a lot of films. I used to watch a lot of movies from my childhood onwards. I was a movie buff.
Okay.
But when I went to engineering college, I started exploring a lot of world cinema, and then I gradually understood that we also can make films. This was earlier like a dream that even a normal man can make a movie. We had no idea, and I have no connections to the industry. So then I thought, okay, we can also make films. So it took me almost 2 years to sort out how to shoot a scene, how to edit it, and finding avenues to showcase your work. So mostly from 2016 onwards, I started making my first film. My first short came out in 2016. I went to KSFF, Kolkata Short Film Festival, which is organized by Chitrobani. Chitrobani is an organization, and the festival takes place in Nondol. So I went there with the film. It got selected. Two of our films got selected, and it was screened. We got some accolades and everything. But the problem was we were getting this kind of things, and we were sending it to various festivals. But the problem was when we are uploading it to YouTube for the general audience to watch it, there was very less number of views. Suppose there were 200 views, out of which 150 are our friends. So I thought, I want to make films for the audience. I want to showcase their work and get the feedback that whether I'm improving or not, whatever. So I was a bit confused, and at that point of time, I was also studying. I also work in a IT company. So at
Okay.
that point of time, the placements were happening and everything was happening. So my college mate, batchmate, he was from civil, I was from electrical. Kiran
Okay.
Datto, who is known as Bong Guy.
Bongai. Yeah.
So he became very big in 2017. He started his own YouTube channel. He became very big, and that somehow inspired me that you know what, we can make content in Bengali,
Mhm.
and there is an audience out there. So I thought I won't be able to make a roast video or something, and that is not my content. I don't have any interest in that. So I started making film reviews. This was late 2017, and my first review was about Secret Superstar, Amir Khan's film, Secret
Yes.
Superstar, that came out near Diwali. So that was the starting point of reviews. And gradually, then I kept on making videos, but those were not clicking. So
Mhm.
in 2000, it took me 1 year to get 1,000 subscribers. And in 2018, in the month of October, suddenly people started watching my videos. And then gradually the journey started. Then in 2019, I started doing interviews. I got an offer for Film Companion. I joined
Mhm.
them. I started doing reviews. And then in 2022, last year, I started also doing Hindi movie reviews in their
Yes.
the national channel. So all these things happened. Then I collaborated with Netflix to judge the short film festival that happened last
Yes.
year. So all these things, one after the another, started coming in. It was not a planned move, and at the same time, I have always made some short films with little bit of money that I had or I could arrange from
Yeah.
various sources, and we made quite a few short films. So that's how I'm looking forward, and it's the journey is going, and I don't know where it will go, but
Yeah.
just yeah, having fun.
Okay. Yeah. So at the beginning, like what fascinated you towards movies? Like which kind of movies that you watched and you feel like, okay, this is something I should myself create it.
So like the thing is, when I was a kid, I don't know
Uh-huh.
what fascinated towards movie. Uh, the the earliest memory that I have of movies is like we were very much exposed to Bollywood cinema at that point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So we were watching these hardcore commercial movies that used to come out in 90s, all the action
Hmm.
kind of stuff, action movies mostly. Akshay Kumar, Sunil Shetty, Sunny Deol were doing action. Govinda was doing
Yes.
comedy. Shah Rukh was doing romance. Salman Khan was doing one kind of film. And I never used to understand the films that Amir Khan used to do. I never understood Dil Chahta Hai at that point of time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Lagan, but I didn't understood Dil Chahta Hai. I never saw Mangal Pandey at that point. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Mangal Pandey much later. So that was the thing, and I was very much into movies. I used to watch every kind of film. I have seen B grade movies, like I have seen everything,
Mm-hmm.
every possible movie that is available. I used to watch it. I used to like, I don't know what fascinated towards me. Now you can say that how this transition from like hardcore mainstream to a kind of cinema which is sensible and
Hmm.
understanding sense, that came a lot later when I went to the college
Okay.
and I got internet connection in my computer, and then I somehow found out that there is a filmmaker called Anurag Kashyap. I saw his interviews. He inspired me a lot. Then I gradually started exploring their work. Like I saw Black Friday, I saw all the Anurag Kashyap films, then Hansal Mehta, then Vikramaditya Motwani. Then I found out that there are great filmmakers in Bengali also. So
Mm-hmm.
then Ritik Ghottam and Satyajit Ray. Then I started exploring world cinema. This happened around 2014 onwards, the world cinema exploration. But the
Okay.
fascination towards movies from my childhood onwards.
Okay. Like which
And I
genre of
cannot tell you
movie?
exactly what fascinated.
Yeah, sorry. Like which genre of movie like you like the most to watch?
Like I watch every kind of film. I'm a film buff, irrespective of the
Ah,
genre. I watch everything. But while I'm
okay.
creating something, now that is the one question you asked earlier, that what kind of cinema I want to create. I want to create something which is accessible to masses. If you see my
Mm-hmm.
short films also, I try to keep them as simple as possible. When I started off, people don't know that when I started off in 2016, those films were very kind of abstract, and
Hmm.
that was more of a statement that what I want to put out. I made a short film called Nokshal.
Hmm.
It's on YouTube. I made it with Shourabh Das, who generally
Yes, yes.
works with Hoichoi. So I made that film. That was again a statement. That was one statement was about Nokshal movement that happened in 1971, and another
Mm-hmm.
statement was about how films are made in Bengali cinema. So that was more of a statement. But later but after that, what I felt that I want to tell a story which is accessible to a lot of people. Everybody can
Mm-hmm.
understand. They can have that kind of entertainment value. So I made a film called Writer's Block, a short film that's available on my
Yes.
channel. It's a thriller, and something keeps on happening every 5-10 minutes. Like it's
Mhm.
a combination of a lot of kind of thrillers, and you can see a lot of homage from Sriram Raghavan film, Alfred Hitchcock, Srijit Mukherjee.
Yes.
Every kind of mix and match is there. So it's a little bit of comedy, thrill, everything is there. So I want to make that kind of film which is kind of accessible and which will entertain the audience. And it can be anything. Like entertainment doesn't mean only comedy. It can
Mhm.
be very intense also. It can be romantic also. So the film right now we are making Ecologbo. It's a mass
Yes.
action movie.
Yes.
It has a lot of
Yeah.
action. When we have done action in an independent space without any action director, and so that's a very very like Bollywoodish kind of film, which has all the elements of a commercial cinema. So I want to make that kind of film because I think that space is very much vacant in Bengali cinema, and so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we'll come to that your new upcoming movie as well in shortly. Yeah, so what do you think of the current landscape of Bengali cinema? Because last year hardly 2 or 3 movies were able to cross the super hit mark, and most of
No,
the
actually,
movie.
last year was actually good. Last year was comparatively good, better than other years, I would say.
Mhm.
Because last year there was a Bala Shuru, which did a very
Hmm.
good business. There was Ajito, there was Projapati. In December also, there are other two films like Hami 2 also came. It also
Mhm.
did a decent business. Uttapuri did a decent business. Then Korno Suborno was a big hit. Bollapuri
Yes.
Rupatha was again a hit. It was a very low budget film with new faces, but still it made a lot of money. Then there is a Dev's film called Kishmish.
Kishmish.
There were quite a few hits. Even
Mhm.
Raj Chakraborty's Hapji Gabji also did a decent business. So actually 2022 was quite kind of good for Bangla cinema, I would say. But 2023 started off with a lot of commercial failures, and till now we haven't seen a hit.
Yeah.
And I think in 2023 Bangla cinema is going to suffer like a lot, because a lot of big Hindi films are coming up.
Hmm.
There is a Ranbir Kapoor film coming up. Then there are actually two Ranbir Kapoor films coming up. Then there is some pan India films like Salar. Uh, then there is Jawan. There is Donkey. All these kind of big films are coming up this year. So it would be very challenging for Bangla cinema. Let's see. So last
Yeah.
year it was good comparatively. Yeah.
So why do you think that like audience in general in West Bengal and people where they watch Bengali movies, like I'm from Tripura. Tripura also has a fan base of Bengali movies. So why do you think that people are not going to the theater? Which type of content are not attracting people that then they're not moving to the theaters?
So the thing is, in West Bengal, the rural belt, which
Hmm.
earlier used to bring in a lot of business, the cinema theaters over there have been shut down.
Hmm.
So that is a big problem. So the commercial movie, it used to cater to those rural belts, and now there is no theater in the rural belt, so there is no business. So
Hmm.
everything is
Okay.
urban centric, and in urban space, the problem is the youth now, due to internet and everything, they have so much exposure of content that they are not giving a chance to Bangla cinema.
Hmm.
They won't watch it. They would
Correct.
prefer watching an Ant-Man or any big ticket Pathan, because it is a visual spectacle, or a
Hmm.
RRR or a
Hmm.
KGF. So so the youth audience is not coming to watch Bangla cinema, and most of the business is coming from an audience which is mostly 40 plus, 35, 40 plus. That is the
Hmm.
problem, and that audience wants to see a certain kind of film. They don't want
Hmm.
to see a film like a Pathan or commercial film. They want to see a detective film. They want to see a family drama, or a film made on some certain icon like Ushotto Rai biopic,
Biopic. Yeah.
or a biopic on Bagha Jyotin, or that kind of. So these are the genres that Bengalis, and because the audience is that, so producers are making that, and it is actually shrinking the industry. And young people won't come that easily because they have lost the faith in Bangla cinema, kind of, because
Hmm.
they have given chances, and lot like one after the another, the industry has made bad films. And
Hmm.
now one more thing is like never ever Bangla cinema thought of going out of the state of West Bengal and
Hmm.
going to the places where there is a Bengali population. You can find
Hmm.
Bengali population in Bangalore also. You can find Bengali
Correct.
population in Tripura also. So they have never tried, or in Odisha also. Odisha, a lot of people understand Bengali.
Yeah.
So to capture those market, you need visionary producers, and you need like heroes and everything. Like you need existing superstars, a lot of them, like 4 or 5 superstars whose films are working, visionary producers to take the film, capture those markets, because there are a lot of Bengalis who stays outside of India also, like the
Hmm.
NRA audience, who
Yes.
watch Bangla content only when it comes on OTT, like Hoichoi.
Hoichoi. Yeah.
Otherwise they didn't have access, and films don't release there. And those films should be released with a proper planning and everything. That is not been done. So it's a fault from, like, it is not only the fault of the content, it is a lot of equations coming together. Like the
Hmm.
audience also has a fault, the producers have fault, we don't have good writers who can write those contents which will work in a multiplex, also in a single screen. So
Hmm.
everything, like all the things coming together is creating a problem. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned detective genre is what people are looking for more and more, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why more and more movies are coming out, right? So now Dev is coming up with Bomkesh and so on. So do you think there is a saturation point has breached now with starting from
No,
2009 when,
actually,
yeah,
no, there is no saturation point. Have not reached, because I am guaranteeing you. Today is what is the date today? It's I think 19.
18th,
No, 18.
18th?
Yeah, so 18th February. You mark my word. Dave's Bomkes is gonna be one of the biggest hit.
Yeah.
It is going to be a biggest hit of 2020. That I can guarantee you, because people will go and watch it in theater in order to compare how Dave has performed.
Right.
They will come out, they would like it, or some people will like it, some people won't like it, they will troll it, whatever, but they will go and watch it. So there is
Uh-huh.
no saturation point, because whenever the OTT makes a feluda, it brings in a decent number. Whenever they make a feluda on big screen, it brings in a number. So the brand is such big, and it carries such a nostalgia value, that people will come into the theaters, whatever
Mhm.
kind of films you make, whether it is good or
Okay.
bad, doesn't matter. That is the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I saw in one of your videos you mentioned that in mostly in Bengali cinema there is a lack of opportunities for new fresh faces. Hero or
Yeah.
heroines are not coming out, but this happens in Bollywood. Every 2 or 3 years, a new face comes up who
Mhm.
progresses to a superstar or so. So why do you think still this lack is there in Bengali cinema? Or
So now, a superstar can be only made only through single screens. A
hmm,
multiplex can never create a superstar.
hmm, correct.
It's a fact. You need audience from the mass belt to. You see any star who has been made, any
Hmm,
star, Bengali star like Dev, Jeet, Proshenjit, they have been made stars by the mass audience.
hmm,
Or take example of Salman Khan or Ajay Devgan, Akshay Kumar, whatever. Like, they have done commercial movies. So now there is no commercial movies is coming up. So how
right.
can you create a star? That kind of cinema is not getting made. And with the urban film, some urban actors are coming up, like Kinjal Nando is doing good,
Uh-huh.
Orno is doing good. Some actors are coming up. Anirban Bhattacharya has made his mark,
Right.
but they're urban actors. They're not superstars.
Hmm,
People won't come to just watch them. People will come for the story and the film he's a part of. If the film excites them, they will come. But what is the definition of a star? That people will flock to the theater, even if the film is bad,
hmm,
and just to watch that star,
right.
just to watch that person. That is because you're not making that kind of cinema. You can never create a star. That is the problem in Bangla cinema.
That's why that investment also not happening on new faces. So why do you think the remakes that Jeet and Dev used to work before, South Indian movie remakes, are not working anymore, even if they make?
One of the reason is because those original films are available to the audience.
Hmm.
All these TV channels started telecasting all these original films, South Indian films from which these films were being remade. It is available in some OTT platform, on YouTube. People are watching it on free. Suppose a film released yesterday called Shahzada, it tanked because of this. Because Ala
Yes.
Vaikuntapuram was available in Hindi. So this is one of the reasons. Secondly, after a certain point, when uh, earlier when remakes used to get made, there was a certain budget involved, and the directors who used to make it, they used to make it with a proper care. Like, they used to make it with all the love and perfection, dedication. But later on, from 2016 onwards, the kind of films that was getting remade, first of all, they were selecting films based only on the verdict of the box office.
Hmm.
Like suppose a Punjabi film is worked, they're buying the rights. Now the
Right.
Punjabi culture is very different from a Bengali culture. You can never adapt a Punjabi film into a Bengali film. It's impossible. So if you see any Punjabi film that got remade in Bangla, it
It
every time
tanked.
it tanked at the box office. Every time it tanked because the culture are very different. You can never adapt a character into. They are very loud. We are not.
Hmm.
That is a cultural difference. How they lead the life. So they started making just films just to sell them to the satellite
Hmm.
channels. There was no dedication or passion of the directors. They used to just sit and say action cut. They used to see that they used to play the DVDs and just remake those films without
Hmm.
any kind of changes or incorporating any kind of cultural context to it. So yeah, that was the problem. You will make good quality content, people will watch it, whether it's a remake
Right.
or original.
Right.
But they stopped making that.
Yeah, now commercial movies are also very less. So, yeah, so and I'm glad by seeing your channel that you are coming up with a commercial movie named as Ekalobo. So tell us, without, I know you are not allowed to give much detail about, because just now the teaser you have announcement teaser you have launched. So without giving much detail, like how you thought of making this movie, like what
Yeah,
came into
so
your mind that I should make it?
no, I just nothing of that sort. Like I don't want to prove any point to anybody that I can make a commercial movie or anything. I never did action before. I
Uh-huh.
was making thrillers mostly. I thought ki it would be fun to experiment with action. Let's see how action is done. We have seen it. I've studied action. I've studied action in the sense how an action
How?
scene is. In an action scene also there is a script that is
Hmm.
followed. The way
Okay,
how action is
it's
progressed. If you
choreographed.
see any, yeah, no, not choreographed. Like the scene, the action
Uh-huh.
stretch also has a script. Like it has a
Okay.
little bit of comedy. It will have the
Uh-huh.
character will have a downfall, and again he will rise. If you see the corridor fight of Old Boy, there is a one take corridor
Mm-hmm.
fight in Old Boy. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Korean film, Park Chang Wook's film. That if you see the fight, the stretch, there is everything. There is aggression, there is style, there's comedy. Then the hero falls, again he rises. Everything is there. So you have to build a proper action sequence. You need every bit of it. So we have
Mm-hmm.
also tried to do it. Let's see how audience react. So I just wanted to dabble with this genre, action. That's why I chose it, and I tried to make it as commercial as possible, as accessible as possible to the audience. So it's a very emotional story. There's a romantic story also. There is a love story inside.
Mm-hmm.
That is the core. Then there is action. Let's see how the audience reacts.
So is it
It was
planned
very
this year?
yeah, yeah. It's coming up very soon. We'll announce the release date. It is coming
Okay.
up this year. This year means like within some months.
Oh, great.
It's in the
Great.
post production stage.
We are waiting for that
Yeah, yes.
actually.
I hope you like
Okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah. And coming to your like movie reviews, you introduced two funny way of reviewing. One is Balti review, one is Shue Shue review. So how this like did you try to make khilli out of it? I'm using the Bengali word. So or
Yeah.
it suddenly came one day. What is this movie? I should
No,
make
no.
fun of it.
So I started off with the something called roasting reviews, roasted
Uh-huh.
reviews. It was initially. It was called roasted reviews. Then one day I saw a Sonu Nigam video where he was lying on the when
Uh-huh.
he was lying and doing a video from mobile. This was during Corona pandemic. So I
Right.
also thought I would make a video like that. I made a video and people really liked it. I saw people are enjoying it. Then I made a series called Shwe Shwe Review, and it became very popular. People like it. Whenever a bad film comes, they say that we want more Shwe Shwe reviews. So
Yes.
that is and Balti review. Actually, I've done only one video on Balti, but it has become very famous.
Controversial also.
And yeah, so that Balti I've done once or twice. I have not done it for very long. I will do it for a very bad big film, like big film which turns out bad. I will do a Balti review for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a way of entertaining the audience because the film has failed to entertain. The film is a dull film, so let's entertain the audience at least through the review. That's
Yeah.
the purpose.
Okay. So apart from being a critic, you're also a writer. So what is your writing process? So when you think of a character, how do you think the entire, life cycle of that character? How do you build up that character? What goes into your mind as a thought process?
So in Ecolobbo, I'm talking a little bit about Ecolobbo because that is
Yeah, yeah,
the film
sure,
that is coming.
definitely.
So first of all, it's based in today's time, but there is a lot of references of mythology like Mahabharata.
Hmm.
So Mahabharata, there's a famous character called Ekolobbo. And now, when I write a character, now this film is very much character driven. Ekolobbo is very
Hmm.
much character driven because the name of the film is Ekolobbo. That is the title character. So now this guy has a journey. So whether I show it or not, I have a backstory in my mind of this character. Suppose
Hmm.
I'm starting the character, I'm showing the character's life from certain point of his life. Suppose that character
Hmm.
is a 25-year-old or 30-year-old. Now if I don't, even if I don't show it to the audience, I have a backstory ready. Why this character is doing it?
Hmm.
What is the purpose? What is the motivation? So that's how. And now, whatever traits I'm giving to the characters, if I'm giving some trait to the character, it should have an impact on the screenplay. Like it should act as a plot point.
Hmm.
Suppose, suppose I'm just telling that if a character cripples, there should be some point where I should use this.
Correct.
So these are some things I keep in mind, and I try to follow some patterns like a hero's journey, proper hero's journey. How
Hmm.
there are certain templates of writing which I kind of follow whenever I'm
Okay.
developing a character. And in terms of screenplay, I give a lot of importance to screenplay because I think that is the most important thing. If you're good in the screenplay, the film will fly.
Right.
If even the execution is not up to the mark, and if the story is captivating, if the emotion is working, then people will watch it. That's what I feel. And if it is giving certain events or moments to the audience for them to cherish or to enjoy, it
Hmm.
can be any kind of emotion. It can be a thrill, it can be a suspense, it can be horror, it can be comedy, it can be drama. So I give importance to those moments when I design a moment in the screenplay, and that should come organically. It shouldn't look that it's a force fit
Hmm.
element just to entertain the audience. I have put it, but it has no connection to the story. It is not taking that scene is not taking the story forward. I don't keep write those kind of scenes. Every scene should take this character forward, also the story forward. That
Okay.
is always the intention while I write something. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the films that we see nowadays, or previously also have seen, you'll see some side characters are not developed fully sometimes. So those are just comes and go. So how do you manage those side characters when you think of a proper casting setup and writing?
This is the first full-length film that I'm making. Earlier, though, it was short film. In short film, you
Ah,
can never justify the characters. It is
right.
not possible, impossible.
Hmm.
You never can show a backstory. And we don't show everything because it is not possible. And now in a 2 hour film also, every time all the characters, it is not possible for the writer to do justice to every
Hmm.
character. That's why if you see in web series, a lot of supporting actors get noticed in web series
Right.
because they are getting a lot of screen time. That is not possible in cinema also. In cinema, it is like the protagonist characters can be explored as much as possible within
Hmm.
that span. So yeah, and what I have done personally in this particular film, what I can tell you is I have designed only those characters which have importance in the narrative. They don't just come and go.
Hmm.
Like the heroine character, it's not an eye candy only that she's there
Okay.
for a song or love scenes. No, she's driving the story. She's the crux.
Hmm.
She's the central. Even the villain also has a very strong character. Even a friend character is also important.
Okay.
So every character that I have kept, the primary key characters apart from the hero, they all have meaty roles, and like I don't know any other way to take the story forward if all my characters are not working
Moving. Yeah.
and they're just there. I don't know how to take the story forward. Like I don't know.
Understood.
Like if I will not give space to a supporting character. Suppose there is a friend's character.
Uh-huh.
This is the hero. This is the friend. Now
Uh,
I don't know if I will underutilize this friend, how I am going to take the story forward. Because I'm creating this friend's character because I want to. Suppose I'm taking the example of Writer's Block. That's a short film that's available on my channel. If you see it, there is a friend's character. The cafe belongs to that friend. I've created that character. When I initially wrote the film, I wrote the story. I published it on Facebook. It got a very nice response from the audience. From that, I got the confidence that this film can be made into a short film. Yeah. Even in case of Noxal also, I published that story on Facebook, on my page. And it got a very decent response, nice response from the audience. From that, I got the confidence that this story can be converted into a short film. But when I wrote the story in terms of a story and I published it on Facebook, it was written in a very different manner. There was no friend character. It's still available on Facebook. You can go and check it out. So there was no friend's character. But why I created that character? First, to give some comic relief, because after a point in writer's block, it is only about murder. How a murder can be done, what are the possible ways of doing a murder, committing a murder. So the film is becoming very serious after a point. So I wanted to create some comic relief. And in that comic relief, I wanted to pass some information which is very important. Now, if you'll see writer's block, I'm giving a spoiler. Those who have not seen,
I've watched it.
For them, it is a spoiler. So the hero character has a pacemaker, and the girl who comes to the cafe, she kills him with an electromagnet. Because when you keep an electromagnet close to the pacemaker starts malfunction because of the electromagnetic interference. So this is the way she kills that guy, the writer. Now, if this scene comes in the climax of the film, I somehow want to convey an information that this guy has some heart problem, some really heart issues he has. Now, in the film, while I wrote the story, it was written like the character is thinking. So he is thinking in the mind that I'm writing. And oh, you know what? I have a heart. Like I had an operation few days back, and all this kind of stuff. In film, you cannot do it. Then it will become boring because you are just giving a voiceover. What is going in the mind? So that is a very old way of storytelling. So I created that character to create comedy, to entertain the audience, and also to pass the vital information about this writer's character, that he has a heartache, he has cheated his wife, all those things, just to justify the climax. That when something happens with this writer's character, you're going to get now, while the comedy is happening, you're not paying attention to all the details that the character is saying. So whether this, so that guy says that বেশি মদ খাস না এবার হার্ট অ্যাটাক করে মরে যাবে. Like, don't drink that much, you will die of a heart attack. You don't remember what the doctor has told you. Now the friend's character tells this in a form of comic relief. People are not paying attention. Now when the climax comes, when this person dies of heart attack, now people have to go back to check that why there was some information placed in the part of the film which will justify the climax. That's how I design characters, to take my story forward. Everything, every character, every scene is designed to take the story forward. Nothing is illogical. I don't know whether I was able to explain it to you or not.
No, totally. I got it. Yeah. So, like, if I ask you, like, which are the top 3 movies that you recommend? Anyone who is not a movie buff, but they are interested in movies, which will fascinate their mind, and it might give them ideas to go for new movies and explore. Top 3 movies that you will suggest.
So it's very difficult to suggest only 3 movies. Any movie can inspire, any kind of movie can inspire a person to become a filmmaker. Any kind of movie. Like for me, there is a film called El Mariachi. So there is a director called Robert Rodriguez. So now he made films like Dusk Till Dawn. He made Spy Kids. Then he had made Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Desperado, all this kind of films. He's a very good friend of Quentin Tarantino. He made his first film with $7,000. And that film is called El Mariachi. So he made the film with $7,000. Then Columbia Pictures bought it. They released the film. It earned $2 million.
Wow.
And so he became a filmmaker like that. And while he was taking that film to various festivals, he met Tarantino. And Tarantino was there with Reservoir Dogs, and they became friends. So that El Mariachi, that film, that inspired me a lot. And he has written a book called Rebel Without a Crew, because
Hmm.
he shot the film alone. Like, he was the cameraman, he was the director, he was the editor.
Hmm.
He did everything with himself, because otherwise he couldn't have made the film in $7,000.
Correct. Correct.
So that book and that film inspired me a lot. So I would recommend that movie to every people who wants to be a filmmaker, because there is a great quote of Robert Rodriguez. He says that stop aspiring, start doing. Go out and do it. Make it.
Hmm. Okay.
Don't sit for the inspiration to come.
Just do
Don't
it.
wait for the inspiration to come. Then just go and start. Now you have started a YouTube channel. That's good. Just
Yeah.
start doing. If things have to happen, they will fall into place.
Right.
Don't just sit and think that one day I will achieve this or that. Start
Right.
doing. So that is one film that I will recommend. That film is actually very, very amateurish, because he has made that with very little budget.
Uh-huh.
But that film has certain kind of energy, which a lot of big budget Hollywood films don't have at that point of time.
Correct.
It came out in 1994. I would also recommend you to watch it. It's called El
Yeah.
Mariachi. The director's
Okay.
name is Robert Rodriguez. That is one film. And then I would say Kill Bill is one film that I would recommend everybody. Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino's Kill
Yes.
Bill. I'm a
Yes.
big Tarantino fan. You can see from that poster.
Yeah.
He never went to film
Film school.
school. He went to film.
Yes.
So now Kill Bill is one film which tells you how to write characters. Like, if you see any character which appears in Kill Bill, they're driving the story. They are iconic characters. Now, I am still not able to create those iconic characters. It's not possible for me to.
You'll create
He's
after
expert in
Eklavya.
dialogue. So that film, that one is that character writing, iconic lines, and if you see Kill Bill, it is a multi-genre film. Like whenever this Uma Thurman's character goes to take revenge,
Yeah.
every character whom she's going to and taking revenge, it's a different genre. It's a sub-genre.
Yes.
Starts off as a Western film, then it becomes a samurai film, then it keeps on changing the
Keeps on
genre.
changing. Yes.
Yeah, so the genre keeps on shifting in Kill Bill, which is fantastic. And along with it, if you see in Kill Bill, there is one shot where the sky is entirely red and the plane is flying. So all those kind of references, everything from the Japanese movies and and the BGM, how to use it, that was fantastic. So Kill Bill is one movie I would recommend. Both the volumes, volume 1 and volume 2.
Volume 2.
I would recommend it to everybody. So there is El Mariachi, there is Kill Bill, and one more film that I would recommend everybody to watch it. It's difficult to say only 3 names.
No, you said Kill Bill part 1, part 2. It became 3.
Yeah, no. That's one movie actually. I would say Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver is one movie that everybody should watch. No. I won't say Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver. You would say Rocky. Rocky is one film that everybody should watch. It's a really good film for screenplay writers. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone's Rocky.
Yes.
He has written the screenplay himself.
Yes.
The first Rocky, everybody should watch. That's the film.
Okay. So before we wrap up, like for a new YouTuber like me, what will you suggest in their journey? What should they do and not do in 1 minute?
Maintain the frequency of the videos. Suppose you're posting one video in a week, maintain that. Don't tamper the frequency. People start off with a lot of enthusiasm. They keep on posting initially. Then the enthusiasm drops because they're not getting the result. Don't do that. Keep posting videos at a regular interval, which you are following. Secondly, make a thumbnail which looks professional, and that is your own signature. Don't copy the thumbnail from anybody else. Make your own thumbnail. I make very simple thumbnails, but people recognize this is from Aritra's Gyan channel. So
correct.
Make those kind of thumbnail which is very relatable to your own audience, and develop a style which is very unique to yourself. So if you see any movie reviewer, they don't speak in one go. They will edit the video, they will cut the video. I never did that. I said I will speak in one go. That's my USP. I made it. So you have to find your own voice, and you have to be very unique from others. They will edit the video, they will cut the video. I never did that. I said I will speak in one go. That's my USP. I made it. So you have to find your own voice, and you have to be very unique from others.